So I'd like to welcome everyone here and some faces that I haven't seen in a long time and some faces that I might not have ever seen. So those are the ones I want to speak to right now, people who are here for the very first time. We have our goddesses here of the newbies on each corner, and we have a little packet for you if you would like information about our wonderful center. So if you would just raise your hand if you are new or do not have our newcomer pack, then you'll get something in your hand. So anybody, there's one right there. Welcome, so happy to have you. And everybody else, I want to welcome you as well. And just to say, we have this amazing harvest celebration here. And all of this, all of the produce and the jarred things and the potted things are for you to take home. It's for all of the farmers here to share their produce. And so we've got bags out in front. And right now, I'd like to thank Marsha Dawson, who put this whole beautiful thing together. Amanda helped her, but this is so beautiful, so beautiful. That's great. So we're here today at the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, and our vision is awakening personal transformation. And the way we do it through our mission is teaching tools for positive change. So every single time we get together, there is a way for you to take the lesson into the world and transform yourself and thereby transform the world. So we have a vision for the whole Centers for Spiritual Living community, and that is a world that works for everyone. So we have a slightly different emphasis today on what the world means because of the harvest. And so I want us to focus on the physical world and how it always sustains life on it. Now, you know that species have come and gone over the years, but there's been 4 billion of them. There has been more than 4 billion years that our planet has worked. I mean, the world has worked. The world has worked for who's on it and what's on it. And so today we're going to look at the physicalness and the spirituality of the land, the earth, the air, the fire, and the water. And today, although they will be mentioned, we're letting the social, political, and psychological applications of principle sort of take a back seat to the physicalness and the spirituality of life on earth. So our September theme is service to the world. So if we can love and respect the natural processes of Earth, we can serve her better. And if we serve her better, our species' time on this planet is going to have a lot better time of it. The title of my talk today is The Magic of the Land and the Harvest. So, did somebody just make that sound of how sweet is that? I agree. How sweet is that? So if you look at the produce up here, or if you're in the back, you can imagine the produce that's in your refrigerator, that all of this harvest came from seeds that are usually very, very tiny. And when the seeds are planted, they grow the stalks or the bushes or the trees on which the fruits and the vegetables appear. And the fruits and the vegetables obviously are big and luscious and fabulous, and especially the big things, the pumpkins. The pumpkins grow that big, and they don't take the soil down a commensurate amount. It's really like they appear out of nowhere. It is the divine knowledge within the seed and the soil that this big thing is created. It's created. This is actually what I want to talk about, is something coming out of nothing. So that's creation, right? And you might say, well, it didn't really come out of nothing. I mean, there were seeds. But, I mean, when you think about it, where is the harvest of 2017? In the realm of spirit. we know pretty much that we are going to have a harvest next year. And where is the beginning of that harvest now? And then we'll have a harvest in 2018, and we'll have a harvest in 2019. Those harvests are assured, and they are coming out of nothing. The truth is, that's what we do pretty much all the time in creation, is bring something out of nothing. In this realm of form, we invite things to come in from the formless. And so things like relationships, inventions, answer to prayer, solutions, they're all in the realm of the formless, and we bring them in to this realm. And so we do the work of creation. We don't do the work of creation, actually. We tell what is to be planted, just like you that have brought in these products, this produce. You decided what to plant, and then what was planted became a reality. And so in the other realms of creation, we also plant what we want to make manifest, and in the textbook, it's actually called the mind of God. We plant what we want to come forth in the mind of God. So this is a paragraph from Ernest Holmes, and he talks about body, and in the chapter, it's about the body, our body, but it's also the body of form. So this is what Ernest Holmes says. Body is a concrete manifestation existing in time and space for the purpose of furnishing a vehicle through which life may express itself. The physical universe is the body of God. It is a manifestation in form of the mind of God. It is that creation which, while it may have beginnings and endings, of itself neither begins nor ends. The manifestation of spirit is necessary if spirit is to become into self-realization. So that's what we do. We say the what, and then the creative impulse of spirit brings in the formless to the form. And our answer, I'm fascinated by that, about what that process is. Ernest Holmes says spirit, through some inner act upon itself, creates all this stuff. But that how of idea, hands of angels, hands of angels, hands of angels, and form is pretty darn fascinating. And actually, I have read this before, but I'm going to read part of it again, because I read it a lot because I love it so much, and you keep coming, so you must love it too. But this is the spirit of the apple tree in Findhorn spoke to the founders of Findhorn. Now, for those of you that don't know about Findhorn, that is, right now, it's a retreat facility in the north of Scotland, the northeast of Scotland. But it was started just as a campground. It was started as a campground with people who listened to the angels in the middle of formless and form and followed what they said. And the angels in the middle showed up as spirits that corresponded to the different fruits and vegetables. So they literally received a transmission from the pea plants, and they received a transmission from the carrots. And this is the transmission from the apple deva. And so she talks about how amazing it is that we have a red rosy apple, and we have some up here, a red rosy apple. If you could see, she says, more of how this is brought about by the chain of life, wonder would lift you high. As from the seed a tree grows, so from the seed idea, a pattern issues forth from the center, passed on by silent ranks of angels. Silent and still, because that idea is still too unformed and unfixed to endure any but the most exacting care, so the angel hands pass it on. Then the pattern is passed on to the elements, the makers of form. They give of themselves to clothe that pattern. Then, at the appropriate opportunity, through the ministrations of the nature spirits, it appears in time and place. This is the Word made flesh. This is all creation, held and balanced by great layers of life of which your conscious mind is unaware. You, man, have the fruits, although you do only a small part of the work. May your praise be greater than ours, which never ceases. So, what we're about in this realm is what can be called incarnation. Now, we believe that we are spirits who have clothed ourselves in flesh, and so is everything here. It is incarnated. And what goes on here in this realm is the Word made flesh. The Word made flesh as you, the Word made flesh as the pumpkin. And it may be different in other places, but here, this is our job, to work with all of those in-between realms to bring forth the highest and greatest incarnation for our precious planet that herself is a conscious being. And so I'm going to play, and Bodhi's going to help me kind of in and out of this talk. So with that in mind, I want to invite you into the realm of the nature spirits, that in-between realm, the middle ground between idea and form. You know, I say to Bodhi, he's like Fred Astaire. He makes the girls look good. Down from the sky into the dark forest we fly, up from the earth, under the ground, deep in the wild forest we're found. Deep in midnight secret song, find the place where you belong. In the forest of delight, light and darkness both shine bright. Down from the trees, down from the sky, into the dark forest we fly, up from the earth, under the ground, deep in the wild forest we're found. Within the flower, under the leaf, hollow of tree, hidden beneath, spirit of fire, spirit of air, water and earth calling you there. Within the flower, under the leaf, hollow of tree, hidden beneath, spirit of fire, spirit of air, water and earth calling you there. Spirit of fire, spirit of air, water and earth calling you there. Calling you there. So, nature spirits. You know, this is supposed to be an actual photograph of fairies. I mean, really, somebody took that, well, you know, you can believe it or not. But all cultures have little unseen or seldom seen beings that support creation. They're called devas, they're called pixies, little people, fairies, gnomes, elves, and they're an attempt to explain creation. And they also, all of them, demand cooperation, or unfortunate things happen. But I did some research, and actually it was our, she's not here today, Michael Hart, our very, very, very mainstream science of mind person who gave me this little fact that 54% of Icelanders today believe in elves. Yes, 33% believe they're possible, 15% believe they're probable, and 7% believe they are absolutely certain. So this is not a teaching about the fixed reality of fairies. I actually don't know what Ernest Holmes' position on fairies is. But what this is about is the mystical reality of support, the support system that we use. The reality of that unseen realm that is unconditionally supportive of us. It is absolutely here for us. All of this in-between realm, from the idea to the form, all of this in-between realm of how we put, we don't do it, how they, something, some wonderful system puts the flesh on the word. It is all in support of us. So I'm going to read to you a little bit from this book called Incarnational Spirituality. David Spangler is a person who lived at Findhorn in the early days. And he did a lot of research there with the nature spirits. And he's a pretty intellectual, spiritual man right now. And so he has this whole philosophy of incarnational spirituality. And what he says is that in order to be good beings on earth and good beings for our soul, we need to be more incarnated. We need to be present here on earth, dealing with the earthy things rather than disconnected spiritually. So this is what he says. While there is much of value to be found in transpersonal and transcendental experiences, the challenge of our time is to be harmonious and collaborative part of the earth. We are asked to be more present to the physical world, not less. Environmental degradation, climate change, the increase in pollution, and the diminishment of fossil fuels and other invaluable resources with the consequent rising cost of energy to power our civilization are not abstract challenges. They are concrete problems rising from how we relate to the physical world around us, to each other, and to ourselves. They are incarnational problems, yet the solutions to them are not entirely physical. We must develop a deeper and more holistic form of spirituality. We need spiritual perspectives that enable us to connect to the world more skillfully, intimately, and collaboratively. We need a spirituality that helps us incarnate more fully to meet the incarnational problems of the planet. And so to be fully in our body, to have our feet firmly on the ground. And when we see these social problems, to do more than say, I'm going to put it in prayer, to actually follow with conscious action. And so I invite you to become more fully human by actually feeling the difference between being in your body and then letting it go, and being in your body and letting it go. This next song is called Fly Away, and you're invited to do just that. So, what is the dream that we want to discover? There's a lot about the world that's troubling. Surely, none of us here are choosing the police violence or the refugee crisis or the political turmoil. But what are we doing to create the world of peace that we long for? There's somebody here today that I've asked to speak a little bit about this because she put the seed of peace in the world, and she is seeing the harvest. So I'm going to call up Sophie.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes. So my little mini talk in a couple minutes is love always wins over hate. And even among the chaos right now, there's an abundance of love going on. And you just have to see it and bring it out. So the chairman of the Standing Rock tribe said this about the Dakota pipeline situation in North Dakota, where currently 300 tribes are gathering together to fight injustice for the first time in history. It is truly an amazing situation going on there. And he said, attention only comes when the media thinks there's something worth reporting because it's negative. But we're getting attention because of the positive, and we're doing something positive in a peaceful way. Along those lines, there was a situation locally at a high school, and I read about it online in the local Patch newspaper, and it was about a terrible racial slur against, against the African-American vice principal at the local high school. I was appalled by the story, the situation, and the incident, which is, I'll just leave there. And that the media only reported that because that morning, a student that goes to high school there, who happens to be my son, came to me, and I said, did you hear about the incident where someone wrote on the spirit ball where the students can leave positive messages? And he said, yes, I did, but you didn't hear this part. You didn't hear that the leadership community decided to do something about it, and they came to school with hundreds of flowers and roses and met all the students at every single entrance and said, if you feel moved, please bring this to the front office and give this to the assistant principal to show her our compassion, love, and support for her. And they did. The line was down the hall, down another hall, students showing their love, their support for this woman. And that was stronger than anything that was written, and that love was huge. And the vice principal was crying in the office, not from the situation, but from the overwhelming love and support that the community and the students showed her. It was truly beautiful. And I said, the media needs to know about that part. They need to know the community that comes out of all of this, the love that trumps all of this. So, my intuition said, write the lady. I wrote her, and within 3 hours, there was an article saying, love always wins over hate, flowing out into the universe. And then a little later, and I don't want the credit for it, just flowing. A little later, there was another one, KCBS or Cron 4, another story showing the love over the hate. And that is the kind of media I want to see in the world, more of it, not the divisiveness and all of that is going on clearly. So we need to speak up for the beauty that's going on and the love and the community that is everywhere. And I invite you to take conscious action wherever you are in your life in whatever way possible you can. That is our spiritual path and journey now. Thank you very much.
That's what one person can do. Oh, everybody is just weeping, and I can't look at you, or I'll do the same. So, this is a picture of unlimited universes. This is a picture of, well, I think it's a picture of unlimited possibilities. And what happens is that all of these universes and all of these realities are held in potential. Every single thing that we could ever imagine is held in potential until we pull it out into form. And you know, we don't have anything to do with the middle part. We pull it out by thinking about the positive, thinking about what we want to create, following that with action, and then letting the universe reorganize itself around us so that we can create the vision of peace that as we watch the violence, we can create the vision of peace. So my favorite thing on Facebook this week was a photograph at the opening of the new African American Museum on the Mall in Washington, D.C. There was a photograph of George Bush leaning up against Michelle Obama as she was embracing him, and I swear he had a look on his face like my cat does when he's in a ecstasy of petting, you know, like, I mean, that's how George Bush looked in the arms of Michelle Obama. And I just sent that all over the place, I'll tell you. So just as a seed brings forth its own kind, our thoughts, attitudes, and fears bring forth their like, or our love and intuition. So the last person I'm going to quote is another person from Fenn. This Dorothy McLean was one of the founders. And this is her book. And she has taken the download of what was called the landscape angel from Fenn. And this is what the landscape angel says. There are endless levels of consciousness, endless levels of beings, endless beings. There is the life of a grain of sand, of a whole planet, and of the many universes, and of the intermediary stages, all with consciousness, and all part of God's life, and all related. So that is what we are working with. And sometimes we have a tendency to blame something else. We blame the politics, we blame the economy, we blame our ex-spouses, we blame bad luck. And our ancestors also blamed the fairies. If they were having bad luck, it wasn't their fault, right? It was the fairies. So the last song that Bodhi and I are going to do is a story song about, it's called The Dance of the Wild Fairies. And it's about how they can be terrifying or they can be benevolent. They can give you poison or they can give you nectar. And it's not their choice, peeps. It's ours. I wandered alone in the forest one night, led by a music strange to hear, and followed the glow of a shimmering light that seemed to grow distant as I grew near. The woods were alive with the fragrance of spring, but winter was everywhere was clear to see. The moon shone bright and a bat on the wing beckoned me closer and said to me, a clearing close in the forest you'll find a fabulous banquet, a fairy ball. If you close your eyes and you open your mind, the veil disappears and you see it all. Come and play as the wild fairies play in a magical circle of fairy rings. circle as fast as light. Once you begin, you are caught in a trance, and the world will grow old in a single night. When I closed my eyes to the shimmering light, all memory faded and I could see a mushroom circle of red and white and a myriad fairies surrounding me. Beyond all space and beyond all time, on gossamer wings did the fairies fly, with a joy unknown to a music sublime. The fairies danced and there danced I. Come and dance as the wild fairies play in a magical circle, a fairy ring. You won't want to leave and forever you'll stay where the vision is bright as spring. Come and dance the wild fairy dance, spin in a circle as fast as light. Once you begin, you are caught in a trance, and the world will grow old in a single night.
Those who seek us surely find us. See the trail we leave behind us. Some bewildered and some enlightened. Some are brave and some are frightened. Are we kind or are we vicious? Nectar, poison, or delicious? That, my sweet, you will discover. Fairy foe or fairy lover. Come and play as the wild fairies play in a magical circle, a fairy ring. You won't want to leave and forever you'll stay where the vision is bright as spring. Come and dance the wild fairy dance, spin in a circle as fast as light. Once you begin, you are caught in a trance, and the world will grow old in a single night. I wandered alone to the forest one night, led by a music strange and clear. If you happen to pass when the moon is bright and the veils are thin, you will find me here. If the veils are thin, you will find me here. Karyl Huntley.
So the truth is, in conclusion, that there is help for everything at whatever stage you ask for it. Now, to be clear about our tradition in Science of Mind, we believe in working in consciousness through the tool of spiritual mind treatment. And if you have anything on your heart, you can ask for a personal spiritual mind treatment from our practitioners of the morning. And if you have anything else that you like, go ask that for help. This is more from the landscape angel, and I love this. You wonder if we in the angelic realms know and are concerned with the problems and doings of humanity, such as your reaching the moon, the rebellion of youth, etc. Yes, indeed. We do not intellectualize about these or take sides, but we are aware of what is going on, and we radiate to and uplift all light bearers. Where the higher vibrations are received and used by you for the benefit of the whole, we help. So when anyone wishes to know anything on any subject of the higher dimension and tunes in, an answer will always come from one source or another. You draw the answers to yourselves by your attunement, and we are often the instruments to help you. It makes no difference to us. We simply help with the radiations whenever there is a gap into which we may pour them. Wherever your imagination reaches is real. So, with that, concludes the fairy talk. And I would like to bless the harvest. And I'd like to bless Steve Einhaus, the idea came through Steve to be made manifest by all of the angelic hands and our actual hands. And Pat Sandry and her team also is helping with this. You are welcome and urged to take any of this. And so now I absolutely bless the fruit of the harvest. I bless the hands who nurtured it. And I bless the hands who will prepare it for food. I bless the food as it goes into our bodies. And may this food incarnate us even more fully on this earthly plane. And so it is. The spiritual principles today are all form comes from the one divine source, and that which we seek in life we find. The spiritual practice is feel gratitude for the harvest. And so in our different order of service now, I'd like to invite Galen up to accept the offering.
Hello, hello. Guess what? I'm looking for our, oh wait, I'd like to invite the ushers forward. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm Galen Cooper, licensed practitioner and a member of many things, but today I am a member of the Prosperity Team, and I'd like to have you visit, if you haven't already gotten this beautiful prosperity card with on the back of it has the picture that Jet Walker has done for the Prosperity Team. Jet, where are you? Okay, good.
And I want to say something now too.
Oh,
Okay,
thanks,
just
because I was
hang
waiting.
on. Yeah,
Thank you.
Because this was my part that I'm supposed to say, and I want to say. I have the microphone. Can the Prosperity Team stand up? Okay. The Prosperity Team are not the richest people in the community. The Prosperity Team has a consciousness of comfort with supply. They love what they use, and they love what they give. For the most part, they do not have fear around money. That is why they are on the Prosperity Team, and they are nurturing a consciousness that you can grab their coattails and live like they do, loving what they use and then loving what they give.
Thank you. So I'm looking at my prosperity card, and you could get them. We have them here for you. Raise your hand if you already have one. Yep. Oh, yay! Thank you. Mine says, and I love mine actually, mine says, my world is filled with an abundance of wealth, happiness, and health. So I am putting my, here it is, putting my pledge card on my heart, and I'm going to say the affirmation, which is supposed to,
Next.
Yay, look at this. Oh, good.
Next one.
Ooh.
There we go.
Perfect. I have my offering. I'm putting it on my heart. This is a gift I give, is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. So it is. I send you forth to receive our beautiful offerings.
Are we ready to sing?
Yeah, I am.
We need the next slide, right? There we go. Right.
Oh, I love this song.
Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our life, for the hands of the earth and and the fruit of your womb, O Mother God, blessed be. O Mother God, blessed be. Mother God,
thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh Mother God, blessed be. Oh Mother God, blessed be. Stand up here and sing with me.
Mother
God,
God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our life, for the hands of the earth and the fruit of the womb. O Mother God, blessed be. O Mother God, blessed be. O Mother God, flowing
for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh Mother God, blessed be. Oh Mother God, blessed be. Oh Mother God, blessed be.
It is with great gratitude that I accept this offering on behalf of our center. The love and intention it brings with it is a blessing to all of us as our community thrives and grows. Blessed be.
Oh, fabulous, beautiful, thank you. Okay. So announcements quickly. We have fall, but importantly, we have fall classes, and Posey, come up and talk a little bit about your class. The writing class is going very, very well. Lots of good sign-ups. Financial freedom is starting and needs some more.
Hi. So anyone want more abundance in their life? Well, I'll tell you, Principles of Financial Freedom, for me, has some of the most powerful tools to open your heart, open your life, open your wallets and pocketbooks, to experience that flow. And part of the reason I teach is because there's so much out in the world that's about limited or poverty consciousness. And so I want to be immersed in consciousness that helps me to open up and flow and be in that abundant prosperity consciousness. So if anyone would like to join me in deepening in that way, and even if it's not an abundance issue for you, life changes when you take this class. I promise you. So we're starting the second Tuesday in October. It's a 10-week course, and it's now required for practitioner training. And today is the last day you get the special pricing. So come see me afterwards if you're interested.
Perfect. Thank you. And coming up on October 23rd, John Palmer is going to be offering a workshop, Creating a More Abundant Future Through Powerful Choices. It used to be called The Future is Better Than You Think. And I like that title too, so that's what it's going to be about. We also have the knitting circle that we're still taking sign-ups for at the back. And the holiday craft creation sign-ups at the back. And then I have a lot of material up here. Forgiveness Day. We don't have a slide for it, but Forgiveness Day is coming up on October 7th at the Mill Valley Community Center. This is the legacy from our very own Bob Plath, and this is a new celebration. So make yourselves available to that. And I would love it now if the practitioners would surround the room and where you know that you have answers to any of life's questions at whatever level that you want to ask them. And as always, Spirit guides your way. And so now, if you would please stand, all of you, for the affirmation and closing song. All of the natural world is sourced by, supported by, and loved by the realm of the formless. And this includes me. I am deeply adored by the author of the universe and upheld by the mind of the maker. I am so blessed.
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may the goddess hold you in the hollow of her hand. One more time. May the road, let's hear you sing it out.
Rise to meet you.
Meet that road.
May the wind be always at your back.
May the sun shine warm upon your face,
And the rain
fall soft upon your field.
until we meet again. May the goddess hold you in the hollow of her hand.
In the hollow of her hand.
Ah.